Welcome to the next episode of Darkness Within. Let's explore the mansion of Mr. Clark. This is a very, very interesting place that I'm eager to explore and see and learn everything about that well that he mentioned in his... it is much colder here than in the other parts of the house. Also, there are a lot of moths in this house. Strange. Well, you have a lot of moisture, a lot of lamps. It's ideal place for moths. This seems like a basement. It smells weird here. It could be some kind of incense. Yeah. Okay. What's on this table? What are these notes? Messy. Again, it's messy. That statue on the far right side. It looks like those statues heads from Christmas Islands. I think that's the name of the Christmas Islands. It's locked. Okay. An electrical panel. What is this? A number of pots. They contain some substance that smells like rue and harmal. Okay. A stained piece of fabric. There is some kind of slimy substance on it. Interesting. I think that behind those doors that are locked there is something really, really specific. Let's first check the... This door is not locked. I think there is something behind it that blocks it. Okay. And this is... It looks like living room, but it's kind of strangely... This door is locked. Okay, everything is locked. It's kind of strangely divided into three parts. It's very ugly living room. There is a note written on the back of this photo that reads, Jonathan, Mr. Field said he and his brother did not get along this... Oh, come on, this text moves so fast. Jonathan Clark Field. This is the only family picture here. Yeah. Oh. There are these are Mr. Field's notes, so my notes were not complete set. Of course they were not, you idiot. For the past 2 weeks I was out of town because of my job, and when I returned feeling tired I learned that the restoration has not been completed due to sounds that some of the workers suggested came from the cellar. This incident made me really angry, and I immediately obtained a strong flashlight, in order to find out what those superstition vagrants might have been afraid of. My purpose was, by using the old rusty ladder, to go down and just take a look down there. But it didn't matter how many steps down I took, the ground continued to be concealed in the claustrophobic pitch darkness of the well. A short time later I noticed the opening of a horizontal tunnel. I entered the tunnel to check it. I don't know how long I stayed in there, wondering why and when this worm-like burrow was dug. But when I decided to proceed, I felt that my legs were aching. After moving forward a short distance, I reached a wide chamber which was full of blood-curdling strange statues. On its walls you could see signs of some erased and now to great extent unreadable writings of wall paintings. The air was dominated by some kind of thick decaying smell which caused me to cough frequently. From the opening of the tunnel on the right and left walls of the chamber there were some kind of statues which looked almost alive, so much so that just for a second I thought that they would rise and start to walk, which I thought depicted saurian-headed creatures with the bodies of a man. There was another figure which seems to depict a ruler, similar to the hybrid statues on the walls, who was sitting on his throne and watching one of these creatures being sacrificed. This scene was depicted with such realism that no one could look at it without feeling a sense of terror. When I got close to the figure sitting on its throne, I noticed that some kind of smoke was leaking in from the gaps that were behind the concrete throne. In fact, this was not easily discerned, because if not for the wind which was blowing the smoke inside, I wouldn't have noticed it at all. I heard some sound coming from behind these gaps which allowed the wind and smoke to enter. The presence of these gaps made me believe that there might be other chambers below that one. If so, this could be an important archaeological discovery. I jumped with fright on hearing some noises that were certainly coming from beyond the tunnel in the depths of the pitch-black vale. I immediately entered the tunnel, intended locating the source of the noises. In spite of my strong flashlight, visibility was limited. Though very eyes, it may have been a momentary illusion of this enormously magnified shadow of red being illuminated by my flashlight beam, but I saw, or think I saw, something moving down there. I jumped with fright because of this, but only later would I realize the thing that shocked me and caused me to wake up from nightmares and listen shivering to the sounds that come from beyond the darkness, that like a thick blanket covered the places where merciful moonlight cannot reach. While I attempt to see something with my flashlight within that gluttonous darkness, I heard a feeble voice that came from some faraway place calling out something like, "Come." The voice was very similar to that of Ivor's familiar low-pitched voice. I wouldn't be surprised if Ivor isn't Ivor at all. Though the effect of that shock, I threw my flashlight into that dense and dreamy darkness, and with both hands free, I dashed to the cold, damp, and rusty metal ladder, which at that time seemed to me as though it was Ian salt. While I was climbing up and without daring to look down, I caused a piece of ladder to be broken off, and it fell into the pitch darkness. Maybe because of the comforting feeling provided by this incident, I managed to reach the top and get out of that well. The next morning, when I woke up, my bedroom bathed in sunlight, I thought that all these events were just delusions, merely caused by excessive weariness and insomnia. I reached another conclusion. Maybe Ivor was right about the restoration. This sort of place has very important features invisible to naked eye. Hence, I decided to leave the house as it is now, and I'm not going to make any further efforts to restore the house. I would leave. No matter how big my interest in occultism is, I would leave. Let's check the upper floor. What is this? An unreadable paper. The clock stopped at 6:55 a.m. Is there any significance behind it? What is this? Can't click any of this. Oh. Pieces of paper and furniture are randomly scattered around. It just says that. Okay, moving on. Another room. Oh, let's check this one first. Oh, the bathroom. I don't like the look of this place. Damn. What is this? Let's go out. I can't click any of it. What do we have here? Let me see. Some of the rooms, including this one, have been only partially restored. The furniture has been placed haphazardly, I think he says. Can I take this? Some rope. Oh, I can. What is this? Nothing. Anything here? Take the lamp. Total darkness. Let's just leave, I guess. There isn't much to see here except that rope. See this huge clock. Oh, doors. Oh, the bedroom. It's humid in here. The wardrobe is locked. And what is this? And maybe it was because of this that mankind always tried and is still trying to overcome this obstacle with the help of some hallucinogenic substances. A lot of carvings and petroglyphs show us the signs of mushroom cults that existed thousands of years ago. Understanding the soul metamorphosis demands examination of far more complex and esoteric thought systems together with the asserted theories required by these systems. It is obvious that the soul metamorphosis is not a state that can be achieved simply through the process of altering the state of consciousness. It appears that from the allusions which were found in some of the ancient text, the information about the characteristics of this state is insufficient. It leads to even more confusion, but again, a consociate point becomes apparent. This is the probability that hallucinogenic substances, which can be seen in most of the ancient documents, drawings, and carvings, might serve as a key or catalyzer. The most important examples of these can be seen in the stories that are told about the secret about the secret Eleusinian mysteries and the Kikeon drink, which were used in these rituals. They are very important in this respect. At this point, I want to continue with some examples from the strange and in some parts confusing book of the notorious German writer, philosopher, and alchemist Wolfgang Schneider, who lived during the later part of the 14th century, and because of his radical thoughts about religious topics was burned at the stake when he was 68. This book, 68. 68. Never mind. This book that was translated into our language as Eclipse of the Soul is really hard to find presently, and is believed that original copies can only be found in certain major libraries. In the book, the parts which deal with a very ancient esoteric belief called Dvershai, that was said to be directly related to the metamorphosis of soul, are particularly interesting. According to the book, in the Dvershai belief, the starting and the ending phases of the metamorphosis of the soul process are depicted with the eclipse of the sun. The writer asserted that this belief is based on an ancient oral tradition doctrine, but he also claimed that he had intentionally kept secret the sources which led him to this information. The information necessary to research this topic could not be found due to the secretive attitude of the writer, yet according to some ethnology, signs of this kind of belief are present in the world. Another source that the writer used for providing his assertion must be mentioned and cannot be ignored. The source is a series of parchments called Summoning of the One Who Lies Beneath. He claimed that the originals have been written in 4839 BC by an Egyptian priest. Wait a moment. The source is a series of parchments called Summoning the One Who Lies Beneath. Okay. He claimed that the originals had been written in 4839 BC by an Egyptian priest using strange hieroglyphs and some unknown symbols that are not hieroglyphs. He further emphasizes that the one he possessed was just a copy of this original brought by him from Cairo and might be dated 2200 BC. So the source is serious parchments. Interesting, written by Egyptian priest. This parchment could not be found despite widespread searches by contemporary mystics. There is speculation that even if a parchment like this really exists, it probably resides in a collection of some rich occultist. The summoning of the one who lies beneath, the summoning of The summoning of the one who lies beneath is thought to be a compilation describing some preparation and rites written by an unknown cult that worship Apep and oppose the Mat. This is according to some Egyptologists, although there are some who disagree with them. The important thing here is, once again, the allusion to the use of hallucinogens. We knew that there were mushrooms cults in the Sahara Desert 7,000 to 9,000 years ago, owing to some carvings and petroglyphs. The fact that the text and the diagrams in the book completely corroborate these historical truths prove that Wolfgang Schneider has written about the summoning the one who lies beneath may be true. The Eleusinian mysteries were annual initiation ceremonies for the cult of Demeter and Persephone based the Eleusis in ancient Greece. Of all the mystery celebrations of ancient times, these were held celebrations of ancient times. These were held by the ones of greatest importance. These myths and mysteries began around 1500 BCE and later spread to Rome. The rites, cultic worship, and beliefs were kept secret. For initiation rites united the worshipper with God and included promises of divine power and rewards in the afterlife. Kikeon was an ancient Greek drink made mainly of water, barley, and herbs. It was drunk at the Eleusinian mysteries. Apep was the deification of chaos and darkness, and thus opponent of light. And Maat in ancient Egypt, Apep was seen as a giant snake, crocodile, serpent, and in later years, in few cases, as a dragon. Maat was an ancient Egyptian concept of true justice, order, and balance, and also a goddess who was the personification of this concept. Interesting. So this guy basically researched the metamorphosis of the soul and reaching higher state of consciousness by using a hallucinogenic, and he had some specific entities that he wanted to communicate with or to reach some of the entities. We will see what entities. I'm not sure. I see that he's interested in what ancient Egyptians did, which is interesting. Nothing here. Okay. I cannot use their phone. Okay, that was it. I can assume that the key is for basement or for something in here. These look very threatening. There are a lot of different masks here, and I think that they're African. Okay. The note is about a manuscript, an indication of strange interest Mr. Field had. What are these? I can't click anything. Moving on. The large library contains books whose subject matter ranges from magic and the occult to geography and history. The majority of them are very old and difficult to obtain. Yeah, this guy was totally into this. What is this? It's locked. Now I need to find a passcode, I guess, to open this briefcase. I like the texture of this briefcase. It's really intriguing. Can we go there? No. What is this? The showcase. This showcase is empty. I wonder what strange things were displayed here. This guy has an interesting library. You can see that. Oh, what is this? A desk calendar with some dates have been marked. Just that, nothing else. Okay. It seemed this guy was totally into occultism. A carved wooden mask, one of many displayed here. Evidently, Mr. Field had an interest in these. Can't touch anything here, right? Let me see that phone and stuff. Can I? Nope. Yeah, strange interests indeed. Mr. Field has. Let's go downstairs. I guess we will have to use the rope. Use the key first. Since our character is keen to see what's in that well, which I wouldn't do. But a rusty key. That's the well? She looks insane. This must be the well which Mr. Field mentioned in his notes, which can be found somewhere. Oh, come on, I skipped the dialogue. What could be reason to have such frightening well inside the house? That some it's tell that a number of other houses has well in them too. I wonder what Mr. Field felt in which saw this. The leather seems to be old in the crypt. I don't think it will support my weight. It won't, bro. Let's use this. See, not here. Yeah, probably. The well looks very mysterious. It's obvious that there is something in which will help me in my investigation. And you're gonna go down. The rusty leather looks flimsy. This will be useful. Of course, unless you have night vision, then... Will you descend? Do I have a choice? Oh! The ladder ends here. Interesting. I can't climb down any further, the rope isn't long enough. Oh, we have some sort of entrance here. This is huge underground. Whatever it is. What? Let me check this first. I think the ceiling has collapsed recently. This was not mentioned in Mr. Field's notes. There is a gap here, but it's too narrow for me to fit through. Oh, dude, you are talking so fast. It's too narrow for me to fit through. I can't see anything ahead of me. It's too dark. I feel a cold draught. Okay. And this? There is a digital organizer here. It probably belongs to Mr. Field. He must have dropped it here. Oh. What? He said something and I skipped it. I don't want to stay here any longer. Okay. Okay, you want to go back? Let's go back. Dude is losing his mind. Let's just... I'd better lock the door. That's gonna save you, bro. I don't want to stay here any longer. Okay, moving on. What? What, Oh, okay, here we go. So, we basically had this similar experience as Mr. Field. Well, I'm paralyzed with fear. I don't feel... I need to rest. Okay, that means he wants to go home, basically. Yeah. He freaked out. I couldn't blame him, honestly. Was all that I experienced down there real? Or I was influenced by the things described in the notice thing I read about? I have a severe headache, I need to rest. It's such a shame that I cannot read this. There is something in the air that makes me feel dizzy. Okay. Okay, we're home. Can I open this room now? No. Straight through the bedroom. I feel so tired. Any messages?
No new messages.
Come on, man. At last, I will rest. Who could it be? Who is knocking at my door? I don't remember turning the radio on before I fell asleep. Yeah, it's leaving annoying sounds. What the fuck? What? Someone's knocking on my door. Where is he? Or she, dude. Why? Outside it seems so quiet. There's no light other than moonlight. It's dark. What's happening? Hey, anybody there? Strange, I didn't hear knocking on my door. And what is that weird sound coming from beyond the darkness? I wouldn't, stay here if I were you. This dude got into what is happening to the radio? I hear someone talking. Whoa, again? Who is it? Maybe it's Arthur. What's going on? I don't understand. What's going on? Who is this? Is this a joke? It's darker here than before. It is not real. And that weird monotonous sound louder now sounds like I'm starting to feel afraid. What is the meaning of this? Or is it just a dream? Oh my god. What's happening? I can't click a shit. Oh, the dude is... yeah. We're having attack. Oh my god.
Oh god.
What the fuck was that? Damn. Damn, I forgot this. This is crazy. Wilsmouth State Hospital, November 6, 2011. Well, this escalated quickly.
Listen, I need to ask you something about him. He woke up several times during the night. Each time he claimed there was some kind of creature sitting on his chest, preventing him from fully waking up. Does he suffer from nightmares or any other kind of problems?
I'm not really sure what you mean.
I see. It's probably nothing. Stress, most likely, brought on by pressures of work combined with not enough sleep. You're his friend. When he gets out of here, tell him to take a break. A long break. He needs it.
Date after hospital observation, November 8, 2011.
What's happening to me? I've been suspended from my police job until further notice. The doctor told me I've suffered a nervous breakdown. They told me I woke up everyone in my apartment building 3 nights ago with my screaming. I don't remember that happening.
It was crazy.
What's wrong with me? These dreams I keep having, they seem so real. This case, there's something about it. I feel connected to it somehow. But why? Maybe if I could solve it, I could understand some of the other things that are happening to me. I'm not at home at the moment. Please leave your message after the beep.
Hi, Howard. I just called to ask you if everything's all right. You had a breakdown, you know. You've got to get some rest, mate. I will call you again, mate. Look after yourself. See you soon.
This is fucked up. I'd better take my medicine. It's the doctor ordered. Okay. He's getting drugged. Anyway, this is where we're going to leave when it comes to this episode. And thanks everyone for watching. See you in the next part of Darkness Within.